Hello everybody and welcome back to From the Desk of Studio Ultra. Today I'm going to be reviewing a Hero Factory set. Lego Hero Factory set, that is. Daring today, aren't we? But anyway, this is the Ogrum set from Brain Attack, so let's do this. So first and foremost, let's just take a quick look at the packaging. So it's in a nice bag. Oh my goodness, this thing brings so much memories. We have on the packaging right here, it says Brain Attack. We also have this brain thing. It's the brain attacking might. Ogrum in the front. This is our green villain. Lego Hero Factory on the side here. And got Ogrum right there. And then you can see one of those little guys down there. Got one of those. On the back, we don't usually do packaging for these Lego sets because they're like ages old and they're expensive new. But this was actually not too expensive and I got it sealed, which is awesome. I did open it already though because I got a little too excited. Anyway. So here's Ogrum, along with Breeze as a combiner model. There's the brain going into Ogrum's face down here. And you can do the little hero codes. Sadly, the website is not working anymore, but whatever. Let's go ahead and get this guy open. He's in this little pouch. You know, this is when they stopped doing the canisters and they did bags and boxes. So let's get this open. So I have dumped out the contents of the packaging, and I found a way to cut it to where you didn't have to cut this top part off. So that way it keeps the packaging in more of a closer condition to new than it did before. Besides from that, I kept the bags, as you can tell. And here are the contents of the packaging. Right here, the stuff that's out of the bags, first and foremost, is this CCBS body torso. It's a standard torso, nothing too much. And then we have the evil brain. This thing is absolutely cool. It's a nice new collector's piece, kind of like Bo-Rock or, you know, Krana and Krata for Rakshi. Except for these things, I think I like these a lot more just because look at the size of it. And it's so cool, and they come in multiple colors. And they got these spikes, and they got all this stuff. They got an axle piece down here. This thing is super, super, super cool. And as for the name for this thing, I still don't know what it is. I don't know if they mentioned it in the animation. It's been a while since I watched it. So I'm just going to call this little guy a Cerebellumite. There you go, Cerebellumite. Anyway, so we have the bags right here. This is the bag for the smaller pieces right here. Get that out of the way. And this is the bag for the larger pieces, of course. It couldn't have been made more obvious. Here we have the instructions booklet. Also very nostalgic. Speaking of nostalgia, wow, man, I remember this. Well, now I do. I completely forgot about this, but this thing, oh my goodness. This was so cool, and it accompanied the animation. There's Furno XL. He was such a cool set. The first thing I ever bought with my own money was this guy, Furno XL. That's the first day I learned about taxes. I think it was about like 6 or 7. But anyway, so yeah, first time I spent my money was on Furno XL. That's pretty cool. This is the little CCVS guide system. And here are the instructions. See, pretty cool stuff. Oh yes, the website with the game. Yeah, this was the stuff back in the day. This was the stuff. This is what we talked about on the playground. And here we got the Breeze combination model. You can see it better since it's not off such shiny packaging. Oh yes! Oh, this app right here. This is the one that like put a little Cerebellumite on your head. When it took a picture of you, it put just little CGI augmented reality. That's pretty early augmented reality too. But they put this CGI little fella on your head, and it looked awesome. And they made your eyes red. It was kind of creepy. It was super cool though. Hey, the Lego Club. Oh my goodness, this guy. Anyway, and of course, as always, this kid screaming in your face at the end of every instruction booklet. Oh, good times. Anyway, let's get the set out. So, see, I already opened it. Pieces. More pieces. Alright, so now that we have all the pieces, let's go ahead and start the build. So here is Ogrum completely, well, complete. So yes, this is Ogrum, and I must say his build was fairly simple, like super simple. I can see why there was a lot that were disappointed when Bionicle was replaced and the original system was replaced by CCBS in this way. And I know it wasn't this particular wave, it wasn't the Braid Attack wave, I think it was Breakout or something before that. But regardless, yeah, I understand why it's a little bit of a letdown, because of complexity, so much complexity is lost. And so yeah, and that's one of the biggest cons of this thing, is that it's such a simple and uncomplex build. And so is the story. It's just like the story. Well, here you go. Simple and uncomplex. That's pretty much how the Hero Factory story went. It felt like it was getting complex at some times, and then it just dropped off. And that's pretty much the same thing here with this whole CCBS construction. They do a way better job with the whole Bionicle 2015 line, where they actually use CCBS to make some pretty relatively complex figures. So much better and so much more complex than this is. This is just short and uncomplex as all get out, and it's pretty basic. It's really basic. But aside from those cons, this thing brings back some memories, and some pretty cool ones too. Good old times. I used to collect these a lot back in the days that these were released. This is pretty much my nostalgia, and so I'm gonna have a little bit, some bias here and there, but you just heard from me some of the stuff that I don't have bias towards. Oh wait, yeah, and another con is that this thing, this little tail of the cerebellumite, just keeps trying to poke out of there, so it has to take a few weeks maybe of conditioning to get that to work smoothly. So let's get the nitty-gritty out of the way. Articulation first and foremost. So the articulation on this thing, standard, basic. We got some of the head. However, it is kind of not basic because we got neck and head. So, you know, it's here and there. But that's not really supposed to be moved. Anyway, we got some of the legs. You got ankles, knees, hips, some fresh joints too. Elbows. Actually, this is actually less than basic because there's no hands. Unless you count this, then I guess this is a point of articulation as well. But as you can see, the hands are actually just attached on this joint right here. So there you go. But anyway, you got these weird vine fingers. You got the shoulders. And so on and so forth. I don't know if this counts either. But anyway, aside from the cons, this set is actually pretty nice. It is short, it's very small, but it's very nice. And from what I can tell they were going for with the beastly look and the spines is that they're trying to do the Hero Factory's version of the Paraka. Now, the story isn't the same, but the looks definitely resemble that of the Paraka. And so, they even have the Paraka feet, so there you go for that. Let's get into the features. So, we have this weapon right here. It's kind of awkwardly placed under his little mitt. But you can see right here, it is placed by this older construction hand piece. I don't know what the official term for this piece is. But as you can tell, it's holding this mace spike ball thing on a chain. I could just wave it around. Anyway, so that was a weird noise. So yeah, and they did this weapon actually pretty nicely. I like the way it looks. I like the way it hangs on there. I also like these shoulder pieces right here. They actually bulk up the figure instead of leaving it just too bland. On this other side here on this hand, we have kind of this fist of vine fingers. Very weird. They got vines all over this character. This is a plant-based character. I have this ogre look, hence the name Ogrum. So this is the Shrek set of the whole thing. Other than that, we have the main attraction, which is this thing. This is the brain attack little brain, attacking brain, I don't know, the cerebellumite, as I like to call it, that pretty much acts as a separate kind of character on this. The story is that these things came from space and started latching themselves onto the creatures, other wild animals that is, and they made these monsters out of them and attacked the heroes in the story. But this thing is really, really cool because it combines not only the face but also just the head of this thing, and they can be two separate entities as you can separate them, as you can see. Yeah. There we go. And so you kind of just leave this thing with soulless eyes as you take off the cerebellumite. You can see it right there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. However, the figure does look incomplete without it because, of course, it needs the eyes to give it a look. And I still think it looks alright, but it's got that weird, just that weird look. That's why this thing is here, to cover it up. Put it back in, and I think it just completes the figure overall because it's supposed to do that. And I think that's super cool that you can have it as two separate entities or one character. Very, very nice. He also came with this hero core. And this is the hero core that every single set in this wave came with, that has the secret code on the back. I don't know if you can see that. Pretty cool. Showed it to you upside down, whatever. I have some weird looking fingers. Anyway, so this was pretty much it. The good thing about the CCBS is that you can pose this thing a little bit better than some of the earliers, but this thing doesn't have too many points of articulation, so there's not going to be so much posing on this hand. So yes, guys, since this set was so simple, it was quite easy to review this. So yes, this was Ogrum, a very nice and simple set. Brings back some memories, and it's super nostalgic, but regardless of the nostalgia glasses, this thing was definitely mediocre in comparison to some of the other sets I've reviewed in the past, and sets that came before this set in general. But other than that, they were trying to appeal to a little bit of a younger audience, and I can see that. And so I am happy with it. I am happy with this review, and I hope you guys are happy with it too. Comment down below if you have some kind of nostalgia for the set, and just for the other brain attack stuff in general. I think it was super fun. It was a great line when I was a kid, and that's what it's for. It's for kids. And so, yes, it's simple enough for kids to play with. Alright, but anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, I hope you have a blessed day. Goodbye.